Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? Our guest today works at Stara Education, helping organizations to train staff to support their colleagues who may be experiencing mental health issues. Today we have with us Joanne Docherty from Glasgow, Scotland. Joanne, pleasure to have you today.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. I love your podcast.
Thank you so much for that. I'm super excited to have you on, Joanne, and talk about all the things that make you happy. Would you mind starting with that for us? What does make you happy, Joanne?
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is really hard to narrow down. I am generally a really happy person. Haven't always been this way, but one of my top tips, if I really had to narrow this down, I love getting yourself a little notebook. So I really recommend getting yourself a little notebook. In the back of my notebook, I try to write every day 3 things that I'm grateful for, 3 things in my life that I'm grateful for at the end of my day. The small things that you're really grateful for, or the big things that happen, and that just really ground you into feeling grateful for your life and appreciating, yeah, I've got a good life, I've got it good. So I try to do that every day. It's a bit harder since I'm a mum now, and it just really pulls me back to think about what's important and makes me feel really happy and really grateful. But along with that, I don't just focus on the gratitude. In the front of my little notebook and little journal, I write down 3 things that I'm hoping to achieve, 3 things that I want to bring into my life, 3 goals that I want to happen. Because I really believe as well, when you focus on your goals and you work towards achieving your goals and you tick them off and you manage them, that makes you really happy as well.
A lot of people probably don't think it plays that big of a role. Oh yeah, what I'm saying or writing down what I'm grateful for actually do, but it's not something you really notice the effects of until you do it consistently for quite some period of time. So if you're going to commit to something like that, when do you think someone's going to see some sort of result or impact on their life? What time frame is that?
I think it's almost immediate, because when you've had one of those days, cracker day, everything's gone wrong from the minute you wake up, everything's gone wrong, and then you go to bed at night or after your dinner when you're finished, and you pull out because there's always going to be 3 things that you're grateful for, and it just gives you a sense of balance, a sense of, okay, right, that was a rubbish day, but I'm going to put it behind me and actually look what I've got in my life. And it's often as well the people that are around you. I always write who I'm grateful for, who I've got in my life, and when you realise, actually, I've got a lot of good things here, let's put this day behind me. So I think it can work instantly.
What would you say to our listeners who are struggling with a little bit of happiness in their lives? Is it to pick up a notebook and start journaling? What's your advice here?
Oh, I've got so much advice. This is what I do. First of all, start that. Try writing down. And if you're in a bad place, your goals don't have to be huge. Your goals can be small, like, for some people, getting out of bed and managing to get their shopping done, managing to get through their day. Your goals don't have to be massive, but the sense of achievement and ticking them off can really help to motivate people who are struggling. That gratitude, realising what you've got, the positives you've got in your life, that's a good place to start, I think. And I also talk a lot about using your support networks, your friends. Reach out to your friends, get your friends around you, talk, communicate.
Joanne, it's been an absolute pleasure to share what makes you happy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I've loved it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms, and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.